Alright guys, welcome back. CMP here, and this is Survival Living. I'm trying to watch where I step. Alright guys, so today's video is on EMPs, EMP weapons. Now there's a lot of information on the internet about this stuff. There's a lot of misinformation about this stuff. Alright, I see it all the time here on YouTube. There's no such thing. That technology is not real. It's not 007 James Bond, GoldenEye. Alright, hopefully this video clears up some things. Sorry about the wind, we got a nasty storm coming in this way. Yes, they are real. Now, first example was a hydrogen bomb test. Alright, the US government and Russia launched and detonated a hydrogen bomb in outer space. Okay, this was several hundred miles up in the atmosphere, well, in space. This was in 1960. They were able to record and see the effects of an electromagnetic pulse that showered down on Earth. The reason they know this happened is because their magnetic reel tapes that they're using to collect the data and record wiped itself clean. Their microscopic electronics also fried. That was the first real test of the man-made EMP. Now this is a hydrogen weapon. Okay, so there was another one. It was a 1.1 megaton nuclear. This thing here was detonated 650 miles, I believe it was, into outer space. They also were able to record that the EMP came through and knocked out lights, street lights in Hawaii. Also caused car alarms, burglar alarms to go off in Hawaii. But this was detonated like 650 miles off the surface of the earth. But there's no such thing as an EMP. Yeah. Now, because of this, in 1963, a lot of governments came together and they signed a outer space treaty, basically stopping that, because they knew if this happened, you can knock out the power in countries. All right. Now we know the history of the former administration working on protecting our grid, our power grid, making it harden against EMPs or coronal mass ejection. And by the way, the natural EMP, solar storm, from a coronal mass ejection, a geomagnetic storm, also can knock out the power. Now in 2003, US military used a non-nuclear EMP weapon. This was known as an E-bomb. Okay, this can be attached to a missile, cruise missile. It could also be attached as a bomb and detonated. This is a localized weaponry. It only works to so many kilometers. They used this in 2003 against the Saddam Hussein propaganda network systems. They used that. That is recorded. But there's no such thing as an EMP. But it's recorded. Alright, a little bit about my past. I served in the United States Air Force. I was munitions systems specialist. In other words, I worked in the ammo dump. I got to assemble weapons, missiles, warehouse guy. I've been around a lot of things that go boom. I was on a live stream and they were showing photos of missiles in a tunnel, in a cave. And I was trying to contact the host and in the chat to pull the picture back up because I was trying to see what type of missiles they were. This is why I go over people on the internet that like to talk but they don't know what they're talking about. One of their mods responded to me saying that there's specialized shielding on these missiles, so there's no way of identifying what they are. Incorrect. I did find the photo later on YouTube. On Google. I was able to pull it up and actually take a look at it. These looks very similar to cruise missiles. All right. And I remember what I said about EMPs on cruise missiles. An E-bomb can be done. The shielding that they were talking about this individual, not the host, one of the mods. That's not shielding. That is racks to transport and move around missiles. All right, just depends on what type of missile it is, what size rack it is. We drive a fork truck, pick up 4 to 6 and move it. If you look at the bottom of the racks, they also have slots for pallet jacks, so you can move it by hand if you don't have a fork truck. The reason why I bring this up, because it did irritate the shit out of me. Internet warriors think they know it all. They don't know jack. But that's what we use to move stuff around. All I needed to do was see the markings and the numbers so I can cross-reference with my information. And yes, being in the military, I still have plenty of connections. And it looks to be a cruise missile. But enough of that. So we've already had cyber warfare. They've already hit our country before. They do it all the time. Who are they? Every country. Russia, China, Iran, Iraq, Syria, the whole 9 yards. We do it to them too. Constantly hit their power grid. I mean, we successfully shut down power grids in Iran over the Strait of Hormuz stuff when they shut down our drone and stuff like that. We actually went in and cyber hacked them, shut them down. So it's every country does it. So to think that they won't use this type of equipment, yes, they will. They will. If they have nuclear capabilities, they definitely have EMP capabilities. All you have to do is get that sucker high enough, a HEMP, high altitude electromagnetic pulse, off the surface of the earth. It cascades down. The EMP does. It's a real thing. Now, with all that being said, I am going to take a moment to say we are affiliated with EMP Shield. All right, guys, we sell EMP shields. We sell EMPs. We sell EMP shields. We joined up with them back in October of last year. We had our first one for nearly a year before we ever joined the affiliate programs. I want to buy it, put it on the vehicle, and I did a lot of research on their testing and stuff like that, which they actually have on their website. Right now, EMP Shield is running a special. So guys, definitely if you're looking for an EMP Shield for your house, home, your generators, your vehicles, your solar, we have it for our vehicle, we have it for our solar. Our generators, I believe, is fine because there's nothing nice and electronic on it. It's just a basic gasoline generator. But some of these other whole home generator stuff like that, they got a lot of components in it. Something to look at. Are they pricey? They are. Anything that's good is usually pricey. You know, I get people all the time, dude, I'm tired of seeing stuff made in China. You need to be stuck with American made products. Hey, I completely agree with you. I would love that America had more American made products to sell, to show off, stuff like that. There's really not that many. Seriously. EMP Shield is an American owned company. Our affiliate with Legacy is an American owned company. Some things we show on Amazon, from Amazon, yeah, that's from China. You know, oh well, don't mean you have to buy it. So yeah, guys, like I said, we're affiliated with them. Use CFP EMP, you get $50 off whatever device you purchase. They are running a special right now. Go check them out if you are interested in getting one. Do you have to have an EMP shield to survive an EMP? No. An EMP, excuse me, an EMP does not affect human life directly. It's indirect. Power gets shut off. Fuel services get shut off. Water gets shut off. Vehicles shut down. And the list goes on and on. Anything dependent on electricity, anything that has those computer chips in it, shut down, fried. So, in preparation for an EMP, what should you do? 1, get yourself some fire extinguishers. Right off the bat, deal with the immediate emergency first. Fire extinguishers. Next, water. You need water filtration. You need ways to store water. Got to have this. Got to have water. Next, food. Having food, having a way of cooking food. Next, defense. You gotta have a way of protecting your stuff. I like the idea of being able to have my own power. We've got solar. We got generators. We got solar generators. Now, with an EMP attack, will a solar generator make it? No, it won't. It needs to be in a Faraday cage. Or, on my buddy there at Prescott Caliber Club, or there, Cal Club, they now carry the Faraday bags. Big suckers. I mean, he put a whole solar generator in and everything. He did a whole video on it. Are they cheap? No, but like I said, if it's good, it's not going to be cheap. Solar generators need to be in a Faraday cage when not in use. With our EMP Shield connected to our solar is safe. Basically, our trailer is a complete Faraday cage. You can't get hardly any reception out of that sucker. But having the extra step of protection is awesome. We have EMP Shield on our vehicle. Well, dude, you're making yourself a target to be the only vehicle around. That vehicle running during EMP, if my wife is at work, has the ability to get home fast where I am at. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be riding around town in my Tahoe. Come on, don't be dumb. It's a way of transporting fast. If we need to bug out, I would love to have my Tahoe running so I can load up as much supplies as I can, throw that sucker in four-wheel drive and just plow over 20 people if they're trying to come at us. Well, they'll be shooting at you. Yeah, well, don't you think we'll be shooting back? Sorry, I got a little heated there. Geniuses. There's a lot out here on the internet. Freaking geniuses. Remember me talking about one of our live streams? People talking about military tactics. Military tactics. No military history in them. If you get to know these individuals, and I have met a lot of them as a YouTube creator. Yeah. Anyway. So back with vehicle, fuel. If you don't have fuel on hand, your vehicle is not going to run very long. Alright. Sure, you can scavenge fuel. Do we have plans on that too? Yeah, we have multiple plans. I prefer not to have to, but if it comes down to it, yeah. Generator. Ours is the gasoline generator. We have spare spark plugs, every component that I could need for the first few years to restore it. Keep it running. Sure. Do I have enough fuel to last it years? No. No, I don't. You got to have a lot of investment room and storage tanks, stuff like that to do that. Alright. We cycle our fuel. We have 4 months supply of fuel that we can run our vehicle. Now, instead of running our truck to the gas station, put gas in, we just pull from our stocks, fill up that way, then we fill up our empty cans, and those go back into cycling. Just like our normal rotational stock of food. Unfortunately, 4 months of fuel is a lot of fuel. That's why we're at 4 months. And we are actually going to start using up some of that because we're going to be moving the end of summer. And I'm not giving away a whole bunch of stuff again like I did last time. We gave away a lot of stuff when we did our first move. Medication. If you are dependent on medication, stock up now. Stock up as much as you can. Some medications you can't get stocked up. It's just the way the system is. If you are dependent on life-saving medication, get stocked up now. If the power goes down, it goes down. I have talked about this in the past. 1 second after. William Forster. They've got an audiobook right here on YouTube. Does not cost you a single cent. You can watch it. Part of a trilogy. Listen to that sucker. You want to talk about giving you some ideas of what you could be facing? Yeah. Another audiobook, there's not many of those out there, is the Angry Prepper. No, I'm sorry, The Angry American. The Survivalist series is a 10-part series. Great books. If you don't have time to read, you can get the audiobooks. They cost you money. Most writers prefer to be paid. You want ideas of what you'll be facing? Yeah, there you go. Again, these are a thought process. War games. These are scenarios. Shit hits the fan scenarios we look at, we war game it, we try to figure out what we would do in a situation. Okay? It's not blah 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 blah. It's not philosophy. It's practical theory. All right, we're looking at a situation. We try to plan out as much as we can and what our response would be. There's a lot of people on YouTube that likes to theorize based off of straight books and movies. Now, books and movies have their place. They can give you a scenario to analyze and put yourself in a situation. What would I do? All right. Well, as a prepper, you need to be thinking multiple different things. You need to be looking at, if this happens, where we're going to go. Everybody wants to stay home. That's the big thing. I get it. When prepping hit YouTube really big, the biggest thing was the bug out bag. Gotta get bug out bag. What do you got planned? You gotta hit the woods. Thankfully, most people have now realized if they run out to the woods with no skills, they're good as dead. But also staying home and refusing to leave can result as good as dead. You need to have an evacuation plan. You gotta have it. I value my life, my family's life way too much to be hard-headed enough and say, well, I'm a prepper, but we won't bug out. We have everything here. Large enough group of people, you're not gonna make it. Quite frankly, well-trained individual, you're not gonna make it. That's the facts. While you're looking out of a window trying to see your perimeter, your yard, identifying your threats, you got somebody stationed 300 yards out, done scoped in that window, waiting for you to pop up your head. While you're trying to see the yard, you're not looking 300 yards off in his specific spot. He's got a small window he's got to watch. See where I'm getting at? Am I saying go live on the floor? No, I'm not saying living on the floor. I do know some people in the inner cities that have gotten shot at and stray bullets going through the windows and walls all the time. They practically live on the floor. Stories they've told me about crawling around just because stray bullets. Now, is that truthful of them? I don't know. That's just the stories they've told me. Matter of fact, I think I even heard of a comedian. I believe it was Lethal Weapon 4 or 3, or one of them. Oh, Chris Tucker, I think it was. Made a joke on that. That was actually pretty funny. So no, guys, EMPs are real. Cyber attack is real. If the grid goes down, are you prepared? We saw in Texas, they weren't prepared. There may have been some preppers in the group. I got a lot of emails from people via phone. They weren't prepared. They've been here on this channel correcting me. Well, they think they're correcting me on certain things. I never said I knew it all, but when I say something, I'm talking from experience on something. So I'm basing my thoughts, my preparedness off of my experience, not philosophizing and hoping no one catch me in BS. I've got a lot of them in BS. There's a bunch of that going around. I got something flying up at me. So this is my Normal routine today. I'm walking today because actually my knee's acting up. Usually I jog out here. Probably some pee or something. All right. Okay. So you need to be prepared for power outages. EMPs, cyber hacks. Look at Texas, winter storm, knocked out power. A lot of people were freaking out, a lot. There were some that prepared. I got family members out there, they weren't prepared. I got a lot of subscribers here in our community email me. They weren't prepared. As a matter of fact, they weren't prepared at all for anything. I don't understand how you could be watching a YouTube channel about preparedness if you're not even preparing anything. I mean, they didn't have rice or beans or anything. And they've been on this channel for a while. I recognized the name when I saw it. Oh, Florida. Hurricanes. Here, Panama City. Hurricane Michael devastated this area. Bad. They were out of power for 2 months before some type of power is established. My brother and dad, they were down here with this stuff when it came through, right here in Panama City. And when the roads got cleared enough to go get fuel, because they only had so much fuel on hand, they'd live in an RV. Jumped in the Jeep, drove all the way to Dothan, Alabama for fuel, which was also rationed. 60 miles to fill up 5 gallons. Yeah. Well, the math just doesn't work there, does it? You need to be preparing. You need to be preparing for as much as possible. This stuff with China and their new Pearl Harbor event that they're talking about, Pearl Harbor incident of 21st century. They're talking about cyber hacking. They're talking about also using EMP weaponry to take out United States power grids and communication. China's not our friend. Russia's not our friends. North Korea definitely ain't our friends. Iran, Iraq, Syria. No. Any free world, any free country is an enemy to these people. Now, our own government, what's going on with that, guys, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we are not seeing. I don't believe political heads that we are seeing, presidents, vice presidents, Congress, all that stuff, I don't think that even matters. I think that all those are just figureheads, someone that's pulling string and all that. That's what I believe. I don't think our votes mattered for many generations now. I think they give a persona of it, because when you question the voting outcome, they have the ability to say, we're not looking at this. Case in point, recent events. Okay. Now when it comes to food, guys, we have talked about, I've shown many weekly prep videos on this. Normal canned goods, dry goods, stuff that you normally eat. You can get a year supply, 2-year supply of a normal rotational stock. Get that first. That bee just keeps on coming back. You know, and he keeps on flying behind me. If he come out here, I swat him. But he keeps coming out from the backside. I just barely catch a glimpse of him. Anyway, your normal foods, this goes into rotational stock. Now I've seen the comments, dude, can of such and such is only going to last for a couple years, then what are you going to do? Again, it's a normal rotational stock. We have over a year's supply of normal foods. In other words, if the power went out right now, everything's shut down, I've got enough fresh food to last me over a year. And then we have our long-term food storage, legacy foods. We have Mountain House. We don't have any of the other brands. I don't really like those other ones. But we're affiliated with Legacy. So that's what we buy. Doesn't mean you have to go run out and buy it. After a year's supply of normal food, 2 years supply that's in a rotational stock, yes, look into some long-term foods, 25-year shelf life. I had a comment the other day. We had bought in their sample pack, 4 bags, right at $40. Shipping's free. Well, I could buy 80 pounds of rice for $40. Yeah, you can. As a matter of fact, I've got 460 pounds of rice right now. I don't plan on eating rice every day and every meal. 460 pounds of rice for 2 people. It's a lot of rice. You will burn yourself out eating rice all the time. Don't think it will happen? Try it. For the next 3 weeks, eat nothing but rice. See if you make all 3 weeks. One, your nutritional value is going to go if that's all you're eating. Do I recommend rice and beans? Absolutely I do. It's a cheap food that you can stock up and last a very long time. But you also need to stock up other things. You have to have more options. Candy, stuff like that. You've got to have other things. Your palate gets flat, stale tasting, you know, you just get tired of the same foods all the time. Myself, I don't have much as far as a way of working taste buds. That was damaged when I got injured, when I got electrocuted many years ago. So to me, it's texture. Now my wife, on the other hand, she's a foodie. I didn't know it was a real thing until she explained it to me. She likes nice tasting food. So we tried Mountain House. Mountain House, I do like Mountain House for our bug out gear. Going camping, just pour hot water in it, does it by itself. For in the house, I like Legacy. She likes Legacy because of the taste. You're actually cooking the food. It all comes in a package, you put it in there, you cook it, and it's great. I've tried Wise. I'm not a fan of Wise. I've tried the Patriot Foods. Yeah, I guess they're alright, but for the money, I like my Legacy better. You don't have to buy that stuff. You buy whatever it is that you want to. You buy whatever it is that you like to eat. And again, as far as you can buy more canned goods and stuff like that than the price of a year's supply of long-term food, absolutely you can. I've always said that. But after getting over a year's supply of normal foods, we needed to start building up our long-term food storage again. All right, so that's why we do it that way. All right, guys, so this video has just gone ranting and raving for a while, apparently. So we will be wrapping this up a little bit shorter, guys. Again, EMP weaponry is real. Don't listen to these other people. Do your own research. A simple Google search. If you don't like Google, simple DuckDuckGo search. Look for the military trend news. Look for why they're hardening certain things. These weapons are real. You know, we got the Space Force. Everybody laughed at Trump for doing that. Many people believe it's a planetary defense against asteroids. Possibly. Others said aliens. Possibly. Others, fake alien invasion for the rapture. Possibly. I believe Space Force is going to be utilized to knock out enemy satellites. I think it's going to be easier to do using direct energy weaponry. If you already have satellites loaded with nukes, EMP weaponry, it'd be a lot easier to detonate from there, launch and detonate, than it would be dealing with customs and all that other stuff, trying to get a barge into the Gulf of Mexico and firing one there, trying to get off of Hawaii, trying to get off of the East Coast. Is it possible? Sure it is. It is possible. But if you already got something in these satellites, and you think that they actually tell us what's in these satellites, military payload, but you don't get to know what it is, experimental payload, they don't have to tell us anything, and they don't. That's just the way the system is. Is it a tin-full hat moment? Yeah, quite possibly. But as a prepper, we look at as much as we can. Take a look at it. Doesn't mean that I can now be a whistleblower to wake everybody up. Look, guys, these satellites, they've got direct energy weapons. They're ready to fire upon. No. All I can do is throw out a scenario and prepare accordingly. Take a look at it. See if it's feasible. And if it's feasible, you need to start preparing for it. You know, you got Cascadia. I'm not going to ever go back out there to the West Coast. That's overdue. You got Yellowstone. It's overdue. Our property in Wyoming is only a little over 300 miles of the crow flies to Yellowstone. If it erupted, it'd take out everything up there. Hopefully, we still got time on that. I don't know. It's overdue. It's borrowed time. Hopefully, before it erupts, it gives us a couple days warning enough to get out of the area. And 3 days on vehicle, you can be on the other side of the country, no problem. So anyway, guys, we are going to wrap this up. Again, be prepared for power outages, whether it be man-made or nature, coronal mass ejection, man-made, EMP weaponry. Guys, EMP Shield. With the discounts, you get $50 off my promo code. EMP Shield's got a special promo going on right now. Dude, you're getting about $300. It's expensive, I know. But I watch people drop $1,200 and more on a basic AR. That's plain Jane. I don't see them running to the store and go try to buy some knockoff version of it for $400 and go, yeah, no, they go buy something they know works. There you go. I hear it all the time. That stuff's expensive. Being prepared, I mean, we've shown budget friendly preps as much as possible. I have. Just like our weekly prep series and stuff. I've shown that. Some things you've got to save up for. When we bought our first EMP Shield, we bought it through Marfugal TV. I caught it just right to get his discount, and they were running a Christmas special. EMP Shield was. And I got a massive discount off of it. That was our first one. The second one, we bought ourselves because we finally got affiliated with it. So we got a percentage back going through for our solar. We went directly through the company. You need to be prepared. You need to be able to generate your own power. Again, can you live without power? Sure you can. I hear it all the time. If you're the only one with power on the street, you'll have people coming to you. Absolutely. You will. No doubt about it. If you're the only individual with lights on, you're going to have people. But if you have been prepared, you also have the ability to floodlight that yard if you need to. Be smart about it. Don't run your lights at night. You can operate during the daytime. Use, we have those USB charged flashlights. We plug it into our solar. Charge them up. There you go. We can cook with our electric cooking right there in the house with our solar. We don't have to go do a campfire outside. Because I've also heard that one. If you got a campfire, people are going to come running. If an EMP hits, there's no power, no fuel, everybody's going to be using campfires. Everybody. But I would say after a week, if you're the only person cooking food, it's when you're really going to be starting to attract people towards your home. So let's face it, they say most Americans only have 3 days worth of food in their house. I like to give a little extra. Let's say they have a week's supply. After a week, they're going to be looking. And they're going to start noticing things because now they got plenty of time on their hands. In today's society, we are so wrapped up, so always doing something. We never have time to sit down and look. Everything's fast paced. Well, you unplug it all, you got a lot of time on your hands. To survive this, you got to utilize that time. You are going to be very busy if the power goes out. Securing water, securing food, cooking, security details, maintenance, a lot of maintenance. You know, our new channel, Old to New Restoration, I took that over there because we're restoring tools. I was going to do it over here on this channel. There just wasn't much interest in it over here on the prepping channel. I get it. I do believe you need to know how to make your own tools. As soon as I get the materials, we're going to make a little handheld forge, little handmade forge, so I can show you what can be utilized. Having your own forge, make your own blades. You can make all kind of things. Make your own axes. There's some bartering items right there. There's your items that you will need. Anyway, guys, just me taking a walk, basically, in a big circle, thinking things through. All right, guys, y'all take care. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with me today. Talk to y'all later.